Today we're going to talk a little bit about editing. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is open your Pixlr app and then open Image from Computer. Now you're going to go through and you're going to find some of your favorite photographs that you took to then edit. Here I have my initials HP with Prairie Plot 2. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to highlight a certain area within a photograph by keeping the color and doing what is called desaturating the rest of the image, which means taking away all of the color. Now when working in Pixlr, there are three different tools used to select something. We have the Marquee tool, the Lasso tool, and the Wand tool. Now the Marquee tool is going to select something either in that square or rectangular shape or the elliptical shape. The Magic Wand tool is going to grab onto a specific color. But with the Lasso tool, you can completely customize the shape that you then have selected. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom in to take a better look at my image. And I'm going to use the Lasso tool to then just kind of quickly draw a shape around this tulip. Since it's the area that has that red in it as well, I find that pretty interesting. So I'm going to highlight that area. That area then will become kind of the focal point or the focus of this image. Now you can see I did kind of a rough version of that tulip, which means I did not get, in the right spot everywhere, but I can fix that. But once I get back to where I started, you can see that I have the marching ants around my selection. Now as it is right now, it is pretty sloppy. So I want to go ahead and I want to fix that so that my area of selection looks a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and first zoom in a little bit more. The more I zoom in, the better I can see, even if that means my image is a little bit pixelated. Now when working with the Lasso tool, I can add to my selection or I can take away. If I click on the Shift button, you'll see that little plus appear. That would be what I would use to add to a shape. When I hit the Control key on my keyboard, you see that little minus sign appear. That would be how I would take away. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take away some of this area so that I'm in closer to the petal. So I'm going to start on the outside here, push down on the Control button, and I'm going to start a shape that goes along the outside, comes into where I want the line to be, holding that Control button the whole time, and then back around to where I started. Now you see that line looks a lot better than it used to. I could then get rid of a little bit here as we kind of rotate around the selection. Now here I want this to go out a little bit farther. So I'm going to start on the inside of the shape, and you can see I've got the Shift button selected. So I have the plus, and I'm going to start this shape, and then I'm going to take that line out to where I want it to go. And then I come back around. Now what you always have to remember is that your shape needs to start and stop at the same spot. So you have to take that line around and make it a shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and spend a couple minutes working on this. My video will speed up as I'm working, but then I will come back in and tell you what to do next. Alright, I have now what looks to be like a better outlined tulip. This is the area that I have selected right now. However, I want the opposite or the background of the image to be selected. So if I go ahead and go up to Edit and Invert Selection, that's going to make the marching ants on my flower and on the outer edge as well. So now that means I have the background selected. Now if we go up under Filter, under Adjustment, there's a lot of different things that you could do to the background to add an area of emphasis, within your photograph. But if we go to Desaturate, that's going to take away all of the color. Now you can play with other things as well, but that is one easy way, to make your photograph more artistically interesting. Now if I want to get rid of all of these marching ants, I'm going to go up to Edit and Deselect All so I can take a better look at my image. Now if I have something that I don't like, I can always click Undo until I get back to a version that I like. Or if I like what I have, I'm going to go ahead and save my file. So to save, you're going to go ahead and go to File and Save. Now since this is an edited version of Prairie Plot number 2, I need to add an E to that name so that I do not replace my old file. You will be submitting both the original and the edited versions of the photographs or the images that you turn in. So do not forget that letter E. We're going to keep the format as a JPEG, but we're going to slide the quality to 100, and then you would click OK. Now when I'm finished with my Prairie Plot number 2 here, I could close that image and then open a new one. Please though, do not forget, file names are very important. They will help you keep organized in the future, so make sure you're using your initials, Prairie Plot, and numbering each image. Edited versions should then also have that E.